All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning, I'm Sanjay Mattu. The headlines. Union Cabinet approves proposal to extend reservation for scheduled castes and scheduled tribes in Lok Sabha and state assemblies for another 10 years. Campaigning for second phase of assembly elections in Jharkhand to end this evening. Polling begins for by-elections to 15 assembly seats in Karnataka. RBI to announce its fifth bi-monthly monetary policy for current fiscal today. And in South Asian Games, India tops medals tally with 34 gold. The Union Cabinet has approved a proposal to extend reservations for scheduled castes, STs and scheduled tribes, STs, in the Lok Sabha and state assemblies for another 10 years. Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar said the reservation for these categories in the lower house of Parliament and the state assemblies was to expire on the 25th of January next year.
Cabinet has taken very important decisions which were chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. This is one important thing, that reservation to scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, because that is essentially for political thing, and in the social justice interest, SC/ST reservation will now be extended up to 2030. 10 years extension has been given.
There are 84 members from the scheduled caste and 47 from the scheduled tribe communities in Parliament. In state assemblies across India, there are 614 SC members and 554 ST members. Parliament has passed the National Capital Territory of Delhi Recognition of Property Rights of Residents in Unauthorized Colonies Bill 2019, with the Rajya Sabha approving it yesterday. The legislation has already been cleared by the Lok Sabha. The bill provides for a legal framework to grant ownership rights to more than 40 lakh people living in unauthorized colonies in Delhi. It envisages to offer the residents the rights of ownership of the properties or transfer or mortgage rights on the basis of holding documents like power of attorney, agreement of sale, will or possession letters. Replying to the discussions on the bill, Urban Development Minister Hardeep Singh Puri said the title of the land after regularization will be made either in the name of the women in the beneficiary family or jointly with women. 4,000 tons of onions from Turkey are expected to reach by mid-January next year. The government said state-run trading firm MMTC has placed another onion import order. The Consumer Affairs Ministry said the fresh order is in addition to around 17,000 tons of onions already contracted from Egypt and Turkey. The Department of Consumer Affairs has also directed MMTC to issue 3 more tenders for import of onions. 2 of them are country-specific, namely Turkey and the European Union, and the remaining one is a global tender. Each of these tenders are for 5,000 tons. The ministry said a coordination committee has been set up to ensure that the entire process of import and distribution is streamlined to ensure timely arrivals and movement of onions and sale by states. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman says the government has taken several steps to check rising prices of onions and initiated measures to improve technology for better storage of the kitchen staple. Replying to the debate on the first batch of supplementary demands for grants, which was later passed by the Lok Sabha, Ms. Sitharaman said the steps include a ban on export of onions, imposition of stock limit, and import and transfer of the vegetable from surplus to deficit areas.
The price stabilization fund has been used, and therefore a buffer stock of about 57,302.90 metric tons of onions was built, and this was based on the Rabi harvest of April-May 2019. From Maharashtra, 48,184 metric tons, and Gujarat, 9,189 metric tons were procured for that purpose.
In Jharkhand, campaigning for the second phase of assembly elections will come to an end today. 20 assembly constituencies spread over 7 districts will go to the polls in this phase on Saturday. The polling would take place in East Singhbhum, West Singhbhum, Saraikela Kharaswan, Ranchi, Khunti, Gumla and Simdega districts. On the last day of campaigning, Chief Minister Raghuvar Das, BJP Working President Jagat Prakash Nadda and UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath will hold public meetings. Jharkhand Mukti Morcha Working President Hemant Soren, Jharkhand Vikas Morcha President Babulal Marandi, All Jharkhand Students Union Chief Sudesh Kumar Mahato and RJD leader Tejaswi Prasad Yadav are also scheduled to address election rallies. Our correspondent takes a look at issues dominating the campaign.
In the ongoing campaigning, BJP leaders are focused on development initiatives of centre and state governments, praising it as achievement of double-engine government. Senior BJP leader and Union Minister Nitin Gadkari claimed in a public meeting at Dhakra that incumbent government has launched many initiatives to boost MSME sector in the state. Senior Congress leader Shatrughan Sinha said that BJP claim about development is just an eyewash. Senior leader of Jharkhand Mukti Morcha, Hemant Soren, is promising to voters that if voted to power, his alliance will ensure pride and self-respect of the tribal people. Jharkhand Vikas Morcha President Babulal Marandi said his party would work on enactment for job guarantee to youths. Dharmendra Kumar Rai, AIR News, Ranchi.
In Karnataka, polling has begun for by-elections to 15 assembly seats. The voting, which began at 7 a.m., will continue till 6 p.m. The by-elections were necessitated following the disqualification of 14 Congress and 3 JDS rebel MLAs, leading to the fall of the Congress-JDS coalition government in the state. The BJP has fielded 13 of the 15 disqualified MLAs after the Supreme Court allowed them to contest the by-elections. More from our correspondent.
In Karnataka Assembly, 17 seats are vacant and the by-election is now being held for 15 seats. Maski in Raichur district and R.R. Nagar in Bengaluru Southwest are two assembly segments where elections were not announced as there is a litigation against the candidates who had won the May 2018 assembly election. Hence, in the House strength of 222, the magic number is 112. The BJP has the strength of 105 members, including the Speaker, and a lone independent MLA supports it. So it has to win at least 6 more seats to gain simple majority. There are 165 candidates in fray. Sudhindra, AIR News, Bengaluru.
This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates, visit our News on AIR app and follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. You can also visit our website www.newsonair.com. The Reserve Bank of India will announce its 5th bi-monthly monetary policy for the current fiscal today. The 6-member Monetary Policy Committee, or MPC, of the RBI, led by Governor Shaktikanta Das, will announce the credit policy in Mumbai. The RBI has cut interest rates on every single occasion the MPC met since Shaktikanta Das took over as the governor in last December. More from our correspondent.
The Reserve Bank of India is likely to cut the repo rate for the 6th time in a row in this fiscal's bi-monthly credit policy statement to support the weak economic growth. In the last bi-monthly monetary policy announced in October, the RBI cut the policy repo rate under the liquidity adjustment facility for the 5th time in a row by 25 basis points to 5.15% from the 4.40% with immediate effect. The reverse repo rate under the LAF was reduced to 4.90% and the marginal standing facility rate and the bank rate to 5.40%. Sonali Ghadar Patil, AIR News, Mumbai.
India has asked several countries to take action against so-called Kashmir cells set up by Pakistan at its missions abroad, asserting that they openly incite violence. This was stated by Minister of State for External Affairs V. Muralidharan in a written reply to a question in the Lok Sabha yesterday. The minister said the main objective of these cells or desks is to incite the local population and radicalize them through false propaganda. Mr. Muralidharan said the government has urged other countries to realize the dangers posed by these cells operating from their soil and take appropriate action. Army's Northern Command Chief, Lieutenant General Ranbir Singh, accompanied by White Knight Corps Commander Lieutenant General Harsha Gupta, visited forward posts in Poonch and Rajouri sectors of Jammu Division yesterday. They were briefed by the commanders on the ground about the current operational situation, prevailing security scenario, and the actions taken to meet the challenges of the increased ceasefire violations. The army commander interacted with the soldiers and appreciated their preparedness and high morale. Lieutenant General Ranbir Singh called upon them to remain vigilant and battle-ready at all times. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has said the state will earn revenue worth over 1 lakh crore rupees from the upcoming Jewar International Airport in the next 30 years. Speaking at a function in Gorakhpur, Mr. Yogi said, currently 7 airports are functional in the state, while development work on 11 others are going on. These include an international airport at Kushinagar. At least 19 Indian nationals were among 23 people killed in an LPG tanker blast at a factory in Sudan. Over 130 people were injured in the explosion triggered by a fire. The Indian mission in Khartoum said 16 Indians were missing after the incident that occurred at Sila Ceramic Factory in Bahri area in Khartoum on Tuesday. Some of the missing may be in the list of dead, as identification was not possible because of the bodies being burnt. The mission has issued a detailed list of Indian nationals who were hospitalized and those who are missing. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar said a round-the-clock emergency hotline has been set up by the Indian Embassy in Khartoum. The number is +249 921 917 471. He said the embassy is also putting out updates on social media. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said he was anguished by the blast. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said his thoughts are with the bereaved families and prayers with the injured. He said the Indian Embassy is providing all possible assistance to those affected. The Maldives Foreign Minister Abdullah Shahid reached Colombo last night on a 3-day visit to Sri Lanka to have talks with the new government. In a message before his departure, he said Maldivian-Sri Lankan friendship and cooperation dates back centuries, and he looks forward to productive meetings to further consolidate the excellent relationship between the two countries. During the visit, Minister Shahid will pay courtesy calls on President Gotabaya Rajapaksa and Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa. In the United States, eminent legal experts have told lawmakers that President Donald Trump committed impeachment offenses. A day after the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence delivered its report on impeachment against Trump, the House Judiciary Committee held a hearing yesterday. 4 experts, 3 picked by Democrats and 1 by the Republicans, have been testifying in Congress. India tops the medals tally at the South Asian Games in Nepal with 70 medals. These include 34 gold, 23 silver and 13 bronze. Indian athletes dominated most of the competitions yesterday. More from our correspondent.
On the 4th day of Games, India clinched 28 medals, including 17 gold. Athletics grabbed maximum 10 medals, including 5 gold. In tennis, table tennis, kho-kho, Indian men's and women's team won gold each. In taekwondo, India clinched 6 medals, including 3 gold. Indian women shooters brought double delight in 25-meter sports pistol by winning team and individual events. In badminton, 8 Indian shuttlers entered the semi-finals in singles and doubles events, assuring themselves of as many medals. All the semi-finals will be played today. In women's football, India will take Sri Lanka on this morning. Match will start at 9:45 a.m. This is Rajkumar for AIR News, Kathmandu.
And now for a look at today's newspapers for the major stories, it's over to Sarabjit Kaur.
Thank you, Sanjay. The release of former Finance Minister P. Chidambaram from Tihar jail on bail is prominently noticed on the front pages. PC walks out of jail after 106 days. SC says bail is the rule, reports the Times of India. On the Union Cabinet passing the Citizenship Amendment Bill 2019, the Indian Express observes government brings law making religion key to citizenship for illegals. Much of Northeast exempted. Cut off December 31st, 2014. The Hindustan Times takes note of another Union Cabinet decision as it writes, Centre plans to scrap Anglo-Indian quota in Lok Sabha. The papers report that the Cabinet has also passed the Personal Data Protection Bill. The Hindu's business line writes, data on finances, health, biometrics cannot be stored abroad. The Pioneer takes note of an instance of fratricide in the Indo-Tibetan border police in Chhattisgarh as it writes, ITBP constable guns down 5 colleagues, ends his life. And finally, the Asian Age reports, UN climate change meet to display Gond arts of Madhya Pradesh. With that, it's back to you, Sanjay.
Thank you, Sarabjit. That was a look at today's newspapers. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Union Cabinet approves proposal to extend reservation for scheduled castes and scheduled tribes in Lok Sabha and state assemblies for another 10 years. Campaigning for second phase of assembly elections in Jharkhand to end this evening. Polling begins for by-elections to 15 assembly seats in Karnataka. RBI to announce its 5th bi-monthly monetary policy for current fiscal today. And in South Asian Games, India tops medals tally with 34 gold. And for details of these stories and more, log on to our website newsonair.com. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.